Cheers. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Drinking up on my Pilsner. Cheers. I was looking back in my video archives and I can see like my last Homebrew Wednesday was quite a long time ago. And just thought this one would be more about the updates that have been going on since then. So as you can see, this Pilsner is really nice. It's settled into its own. It's drinking really clean. It's 5.5%, and it's just a great overall summer beer. Everybody that's tried it has enjoyed it, and yeah, I'm really digging it. It's nice and clean. There's no off flavors whatsoever. Yeah, the simplicity of the Pilsner and the ability, of course, to have the temperature control just made all the difference in the world. Cheers. The next one, let's go ahead and show you the ESB. Here we go. Here's the ESB. It's got a really nice dark tone to it. I know, you know, there's a wide range of colors on what an ESB can be, and this is definitely on the darker side. But it's actually really nice. The aroma on it's nice. Just a bit of toasty, just a hint of toastiness, just a hint of caramel toffee. The drink on this one is, again, very light. Light toastiness to it. Just a light caramel, just a sliver. It's nowhere near sweet at all. It's very dry, finishes very clean. Leaves a bit of a hint of a toffee note on the back. It just makes you want to have more. Cheers. Nice drinker. Beyond this one, there's a one that I haven't shown or talked about, you know, because it's been so long, is I brewed up a coffee stout, my very first coffee stout. Here, take a look. So here we go. It's the coffee stout. Both the ESB and the coffee stout are ranking in at 4.8%. It's a nice low ABV. These are 3 of the 4 beers that I'll be bringing to the work summer party next month in August, August 24th. So yeah, really looking forward to sharing the Pilsner, the ESB, the coffee stout, and also a pale ale. Before I get to that, let me go ahead and dive in, taste this one. Cheers. It's been a couple weeks since the last time I tried it. It's got a little bit of chocolateness to it, but it's really got that coffee. That coffee is right there. So anybody that likes coffee is really going to enjoy this one. It's not like huge, overpowering or anything like that, but you definitely get a hint of, or you get a good mouthful of coffee. Just a the slightest bit of the coffee astringency behind it. I left the coffee, the beans. I did the rough ground of the coffee beans. I think it was 2 or 4 ounces. Put them into secondary and had them in there for about 5 days. That was it. Took them out, and I'm pretty happy with this. This is right on target with what I was going for. It's a nice, light, sessionable coffee stout. Cheers. Okay, so for the pale ale, got a couple different options. The Monterey Street Pale Ale, the second one, second brew that I did of that, is actually tasting really good now. Just needed a little bit of time to come into its own, and yeah, it's okay. It's a nice drinker. It's still a little bit higher on the pH, so it is a little bit coarser than I would have hoped. But again, I'm not going to whine about that. It's actually tasting pretty good. So I was actually thinking about bringing that to the party and share it. But I did another pale ale last weekend. I just did a New England pale ale. So I'm following a couple of the recipes, ideas that are up on the internet. I think there's something on the Mad Fermentationist website. There's also something on Ales of Riverward, I think is what the name of the blog is. Some ideas about brewing a New England IPA, or in my case I did a pale ale version. So I wanted to keep the ABV pretty low. Trying to aim for about somewhere between 5.0 and 5.5. So it's definitely going to be on the low scale of ABV. Again, I want sessionable beers, and also but the hops had a small bitter in addition. That's kind of what makes it interesting, is both the malt bill as well as the hop bill and the timing of everything. In terms of the grain bill, so let's sort of start off there. Grain bill is going to be, I think it's 70% pale malt, and I did 15% wheat malt and 15% malted oats. So not the flaked oats or anything like that. I think some of the consensus is that the secret to those are the malted oats, and the proteins that are in that will be beneficial in primary fermentation. So in primary fermentation, like normally you would do, you pitch the yeast, you cover it up, you let it go. But in this case, New England Pale Ale or IPA, you add in the dry hops into the primary. And then also when the primary fermentation is complete, you put more hops into the keg with it, of course, while it's conditioning. The idea with putting the hops in the primary is in order to have the yeast sort of bond with the proteins that are in the solution. And by doing so, you will actually bond more of those hop oils together with those proteins, and therefore some of those proteins won't flocculate out. The yeast won't flocculate out, or at least not the oils that are associated with them, because they'll still be within the proteins of that beer. And of course, because it is such a wheat and oaty sort of beer, then that's going to contribute to the cloudiness of this New England Pale Ale, New England IPA sort of idea. So I forget the exact amounts, but what went into the primary, we're talking probably somewhere around 4 ounces in the primary. So I did a small bitter in addition at 60. I did a huge 8-ounce drop at 5 minutes, and then did a like I said, probably 4 ounces into the primary. I did a split batch, so I did 10 gallons, and then so 5 gallons I'm fermenting with the Conan yeast strain, using Vermont Ale from the East Bay. And then the other one is using the London Ale, London 3 Ale yeast. So want to see what the differences between those are, see how they contribute. The temperatures on those are exactly identical. Yeah, so that should be in the keg probably for at least a week and a half to 2 weeks before the party, so it's going to be nice and huge and fresh. I think I did a 2-to-1 ratio for chloride to sulfate, and yeah, we'll see how that comes out. Beyond that, that's what I've had going on brewing wise. The Pilsner's done, the ESB's done, the coffee stout's done, and now I got the New England Pale Ale in the fermenter as we speak. So cool. I really like some of the videos that I'm seeing in the brew tubing community. I want to take a few minutes to go ahead and give some people some shout outs, because it's been so long. Every time I do a Homebrew Wednesday, I want to give people shout outs, but freaking, you know how it goes. Your mind wanders, and the next thing you know, you totally forget about what it is you wanted to talk about, and then the time's done. So first one I want to give a shout out to is Blue Shed Brewing. Check this guy out. I'm going to go ahead and put links to all these people down in the description, so go ahead and expand that and click on the link, go to their channel and check them out. Really good stuff. Blue Shed Brewing's started brewing. He's got a nice big ranch, plenty of space. He's got some good stories about what's going on down there, and a little bit of adventures. So go ahead and check that out for sure. Another guy I want to give a shout out to is Fast Homebrew. He's got these full brew days all condensed down to in about 5-10 minutes, and it's basically he's shooting video footage, and then later he goes through and sort of annotates it with a voiceover and tells you basically what's going on throughout different periods of the time, and just blows through a whole brew day, telling you about his whole process along the way. And I think that's very cool. So really cool format. Good to see something like that out there. Cheers. Also want to give a shout out to NorfolkHillbilly. I see he's just about done with his control panel, and wow, really cool watching you struggle putting this thing together. Not struggle, but I mean, you know, just being so patient and gathering all the parts and components over a period of time, and finally getting to be able to, you know, turn that key and see the lights come on. That is so cool. So cheers to NorfolkHillbilly. Next person I want to give a shout out to is Canadian Sasquatch. I see that he's been doing the mead challenge is finally coming together, and it's time to start doing the tastings on those meads. So I know I watched the first one that he's done with Lermo 22's mead, and really looking forward to see the others that have been able to participate. And really congratulations on getting that thing going. I know it's been a long time coming, and finally you get to enjoy the fruits of everyone's labor. So very cool. Cheers for that. Another one I want to give a shout out to is Big Banana Brewing. Watching his half and halves concoctions and the way that he's constructing everything together, just out of this world. So cool. Your imagination, your creativity is just humorous, inspiring, and very exciting to watch. So very, very cool. Big Banana Brewing. Check him out. Cheers, man. Also, I want to give a special shout out to the Drunken One. Not the Drunken One, but Drunken One. So check out the link in the description below. I believe he's down in Texas. And yeah, what can I say? All you got to do is watch somebody from Texas, and it's an entertaining hour, whatever it is. Don't kill me for saying that. I think it's really cool. You're putting out some good videos, all sorts of things going on in your head, and you're just letting it flow. And hey, man, that's fantastic. All right, I don't want this to turn into like you know, some sort of 50-minute shout out video, but those are the guys that sort of I have been watching lately. Of course, everybody else as well, but these guys are sort of new or doing something really kind of interesting and grabbing my attention. There's, of course, you know, hundreds of Homebrew Wednesday people out there, and I'm not able to even scratch the surface of all the cool stuff that's going on out there. But I did want to sort of give a shout out to the people that you don't hear a lot about very often. Yeah, and that's really about it. And finally, I want to give a special shout out to Looney Larry for his contribution and communication with Strat's wife, and of course, a heartfelt farewell to a fellow brew tuber, Strat. I mean, it was always very interesting to watch Strat's videos. Yeah, the guys over at 17 Crew that are putting together the Strat beer, the IPA for him. Good on ya, fantastic stuff. I looked at it, looked like a solid recipe, and may have to try that one myself sometime. Yeah, so it's never easy saying goodbye to a fellow friend and a brew tuber. But thanks a lot, Looney Larry, for communicating his passing to the community, and talking with his family about it, and being the ambassador for Strat's family to the rest of us. Shout out to Looney Larry, and shout out to Strat. Cheers. Spirit lives on.